Hello guys, so this is Pokerface. I am in no way related to Church of SDFU. I have taken his channel hostage, and this video is completely separate from all of his other content. So if at any stage you disagree with anything I say, Church of SDFU is in no way responsible. Which gets me to the point of what I'm talking about. Draw Muhammad Day. Yeah, it sucks a lot. And this is the second time it's gonna happen. It sucked the first time, and it's going to be even more useless this time around. So, when this whole thing started, I guess the origin was the cartoons of Muhammad that got published and then sort of censored by newspapers, and there were the big protests. At that point, I in fact kind of supported the republication of those cartoons, because censorship is a nasty thing. It was sort of occurring in the West, and republishing those cartoons without taking a stand on whether you agreed with them or not, I thought was a good thing. But that's not Draw Muhammad Day. Draw Muhammad Day is something different. Because obviously Draw Muhammad Day will not be censored in the West. There will be no taking down of YouTube in America or England or Germany or Australia. You and I, we're not risking anything by participating in Draw Muhammad Day. So, we're certainly not putting anything on the line in that regard. But, I want to talk about the two main arguments for Draw Muhammad Day that people have come up with, I guess. Which is, the first one is free speech kicks ass. And I agree. Free speech does kick ass. It is probably one of the, if not the most important right, because all the other rights are very much based on it. But how does Draw Muhammad Day support free speech? Does it support free speech in the West? I don't think so, because as I've said, Draw Muhammad Day will not be censored by YouTube in the West. There will not be any form of censorship of Draw Muhammad Day. Then what about the countries where it will be censored? Certain Middle Eastern countries, for example Pakistan, where it was censored last year, to the uproar of many Draw Muhammad Day followers. Yes, we got it censored somewhere. What's the benefit? What if it doesn't get censored there again this year? If it doesn't get censored there this year, then that just means we made the authorities sick of censoring this one thing because it's not really important. They're still going to censor anything else they consider actually important. But people there are on YouTube going to see a bunch of people, mostly atheists, make fun of their religion, break one of their rules, which they might not even have thought was that important, but once people are breaking it on purpose, because they disrespect the religion, they're going to take it a lot more seriously. What are those people going to think? They might actually think that censorship wasn't too bad. At least it was keeping all of that annoying bullshit away from them. The other alternative is they censor it again, and like the last time round, there are big protests in favor of censoring it. Now, I don't agree with the reasons for censoring draw Muhammad Day. I very much disagree with the reason. I think it's a terrible reason. But the fact is, you're convincing people who might very well be convinced of the positive qualities of free speech that restricting speech might be a good thing. That's not good. So as far as free speech is concerned, I think Draw Muhammad Day is at best irrelevant, but probably what it's going to do is it's going to convince more people that are on the fence on the issue to support censorship. They'll be more willing to accept that their social religious betters censor things on their behalf, which would be a horrible outcome. The second reason I think people do Draw Muhammad Day is because they seem to suggest that it'll help get moderate, reasonable Muslims onto our side, our side of the fence. They'll see the light. How ridiculous was it to censor Muhammad? And then there were all those protests and, what a barbaric thing. Really? Really? What you're doing is you're doing something that is inherently offensive to these people. You know it is. I mean, that's why you're doing it. And you think that that's going to get them on our side? That's going to, really? I don't think they're going to join the extremists. I'm very sure they're not going to join the extremists. But what it will do is it will stop them from joining us on issues that we can agree on and discussing issues that we don't. That's what it's going to do. And that's not a positive thing. I mean, I've heard a lot of disregard for moderate Muslims. But if you're going to disregard them, there's a lot of them. And you might not, I agree with you, the atheist, that drawing Muhammad is a sacred cow, nothing more. The banning of this is bullshit. No one, in fact, cares. There's no God that says, oh, this is bad. But these people, to them, it's important. And yet you're doing it just to rile them up. At least that's what I feel. No, you're not making it more likely that they will join in our efforts to rehabilitate the more extreme parts of Islam. You're also not guiding them towards secular or atheist texts in order to make them secularists or atheists. No. You are pushing them away. You are giving them an image of people in the West that we just reject them. We don't even want to have a sensible argument. We're just going to do something that offends them because we can. Well done. Well done, guys. I mean, seriously. Well done. Because, I'll be honest, if I were in the same situation, that's what I would think. That's how I think we should approach this. Think if you were a moderate Muslim. You believed in the Quran. You believed in Allah. What would convince you? Dialogue? Discussion? Or people doing one of the things that you think could be offensive and then pointing out that they're doing this only because it violates your specific beliefs and religious tenets. Come on. Again, So this is where we come to my third idea about why we might be doing Draw Muhammad Day, which isn't quite as high-minded as the last two, which I dismiss. And that is that Draw Muhammad Day is a gigantic circle jerk. One guy is holding another guy's penis or vagina in some form of intimate position, and we're just, in a gigantic, huge global circle. All of us atheists are ejaculating each other. And, what's basically going to happen is, I'm going to draw Muhammad, you're going to tell me how great I am for doing it, and I'll tell you the same, and then we'll have 10,000 pictures of Muhammad, and we can say, excellent, we have 10,000 pictures of Muhammad, 1 million pictures of Muhammad. We're 1 million times closer to abolishing those damn extremist Muslims. We have done no such thing. We've gone backwards. We have pissed off people who we could have agreed with on things. We have pissed off people to run in the opposite direction who maybe we could have convinced of all of our points. And all of that for a global circle jerk. It's not going to stop people being executed in Muslim countries that have extreme versions of Sharia law for blasphemy. It's not going to stop people from going to jail for being an apostate. It's not going to do any of those things, because if they look at that, if they look at what we're doing, they're going to say, oh, look at this. This is the outcome of if we let all of those silly liberal values run riot. It's disgusting. It's a bunch of people offending us. And again, I don't agree with that interpretation, but to people that have those beliefs in the first place, that's the logical interpretation. And if we're honest with ourselves, I think the global circle jerk argument, the global circle jerk thesis is the best thesis for why we're doing another Draw Muhammad Day. I haven't heard any good arguments for how drawing Muhammad and doing the equivalent of offending someone terribly by offending their God or parents or children or whatever will lead us to more harmony. Why don't we just draw whatever offends everyone the fucking most day? We can draw Muhammad, we can draw Jesus in urine. We can actually suspend a real Jesus in urine. Not a real one, like a figurine. We can spit out the Eucharist, which is always an excellent way to get at those Catholics. Fuck you, Catholics. No, don't fuck you, I'm just kidding. But really, we can try to find stuff out about, each other, and then we can draw offensive pictures and make offensive comments about various features of our mothers or, siblings that we have or children that we have, how slutty they are, how stretched their various orifices are, and things like that. And that'll just bring us all much, much closer together, because we all know really offending someone is the best way to make them listen to you. Anyways, this has been Poker Face. I hope you have a good evening. And on Draw Muhammad Day, I'll be drawing something, but it's not going to be Muhammad. Good night.